Yo,
Blackheart was good, bro.
good, bro. It's good. It's good.
Chilling, man. Happy you could be a part of this,
An honor to be here, man. It's an honor. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, how you doing, yo? How's your week? How's everything going?
Man, the week is good, man. I'm blessed. You know, all the given circumstances going in the world, I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be alive, making music, you know, moving and striving, man. Adding value to people's lives and, just taking life in, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
Mm.
Another day on earth, another day
Yes.
doing what I love to do, Can't complain,
Facts.
man.
Facts. Yeah, man. That's good.
All right, so, yo, let's get into it, man. Welcome, everybody.
Let's
This is
get it.
5 of Soul Chat. Like, wow, 5 episodes already, man. This is dope. But I am your host, Soultronic, and I have a very special guest here with me, Mr. Boogeyman himself, Blackheart. What's going on?
What's good? What's good?
Word.
Chilling.
So yeah, man, let's hop right into it, man. So obviously the origin story starts somewhere. So where did music become something that you were gravitated towards?
Well, it started out with DJing, really. It started out from DJing, keep it real short and sweet. From DJing, I started remixing and started DJing clubs and doing a lot of mixtape, a lot of mixtapes. And that's pretty much where my introduction to production was birthed, because I would showcase my remixes on a lot of the remix CDs that I would put out around the world and stuff like that. And I would get great feedback from it, and I would hear, you know, uh, different DJs just showcasing their skills, and it inspired me to just take production seriously, because it got to a point where I was making remixes so well that people really didn't want to listen to the original song anymore.
Mm,
And then I hit the fork in the road where it was like, okay, I can't really monetize off these remixes when other DJs play them or if they get played on radio because of obvious reasons. So I said, yo, let me set my own legacy. Let me make my own hits instead of making everybody else's hits better, if that makes sense.
word.
And yeah, like that's where it stemmed from. It pretty much happened between 2000 and 2006. That's when that remix to producer transition took place.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, let's talk about that for a little bit, man, because you're one of the where it's like, Primo or Just Blaze that like started off DJing and went into production. What got you into DJing first starting off?
It's real funny. uh, I went to I went to a party and I was so disgusted with how the DJ was DJing, and something in my being was saying, I can do better than that. There is no reason why I should be in this party. They're playing the songs and the rhythms that, when you hear those songs, that means you grab a chick, get on the wall, you doing your thing, and they're just killing the whole vibe.
Mm,
And I remember how I felt in that moment, and I wanted to be a reason why people enjoyed those moments. So,
where
yeah.
yeah, man, and your DJing is recognized globally. It's not even like national known. Like around the world knows who Blackheart is. So
Yeah.
I feel.
Um, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Thank goodness for the internet. The internet really did it. Uh, it really started to happen when people started, I guess, understanding that they could create platforms such as blogs and stuff like that. Right when the blogging platform started to create itself and manifest, there was a famous blogger that really kind of put it off and put my name on the map to like the Caribbean sides and the Brazilian side, South American sides, and Russia and UK. His name is Audio Max King Raj.
Mm,
And that put me on the map, and I just started putting out mixes like every week, every other week. And then once it got to college, I started going on radio, so that outreach happened. So, you know, it just feels great to be able to play music or create music that make people feel good, man. Like it feels great. Like every day it's like, you know, it's a give and take relationship with people that I haven't even met yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. And yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. I saw Overlord, I saw
Yeah, it was good. Over.
Bonatola,
Mercy.
guy JT. If you guys have any questions for Blackheart, just write them down in the chat and we will get to them. So you're DJing, you're getting all these I would say notices, people seeing you, people hearing you. When does it get to the point now to where artists are like shouting you out and recognizing your talent?
When the big DJs started playing my remixes, to be honest, you know, DJs like where do I start? Spectrum Disco, it's Reds and Mikey Don, it's DJ Nori, the Steely Bashmans, it's Short Man, you know, Short Man from the Heavy Hitters, you know, DJs in Jamaica, you know, Stone Love started catching wind of what I was doing, and they are directly linked with artists. And so when an artist is directly linked with them, it's like, yo, who's that? Who did that? And I'm doing mixes for those DJs as well. And I'm giving them mixes to play on radio. That's when it was like, oh, that's bad. Like, I didn't even know my song could sound like that. So they got to a point where I found out that they would be around the artists that I was aspiring to work with. I would remix them songs, and when they link up with those artists, I'm giving them the songs like, yo, play this for them. I want to see their reaction. And a lot of those opportunities came up. So that's around then, like again, around the I want to say that started happening like around 1999 and 2003. That's when that started to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh man, Overlord asked, when did you learn to throw the drums down the stairs?
Honestly, I want to say, I mean, because I started playing the drums at 3, so I want to say 3 because I started seeing that like right away. My older brother plays the drums and he throws the drums everywhere. Like he's wicked with the drums, and I was around a lot of church drummers, as well, and so from very early. But programming wise, to answer the question, shockingly, 2014. 2014.
That's interesting, man. So you're not only a live drummer, you're programming like you're. Do you feel that gave you like was the transition easy or was it harder to do that? To go
Oh,
from
it was extremely easy. Like because I mean, you know, like I was familiarized with a lot of DAWs, producer programs and stuff like that. So at the time when I learned it, I actually learned it in Logic, and Logic is so user friendly to me, and it was just easy to program. And the VSTs that I was using, you know, I'll give the Jews away. I was using Superior Drummer and Excellent Addictive Drummer, and you know they're very easy to program. The only difference is I didn't want people to be able to click through the MIDI program and say, "Oh, that's what he did." Nah. I had to program and flip it up and do my thing, you know. So it's a unique experience, you know. So when it gets to the point where XLN is liking your videos and stuff like that, Addictive Drums and Tune Track is liking your videos, it's like, okay, I did something right. You know what I mean? So it was easy to transition. I mean, honestly, anybody can do it. I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just, you know, I just put in the hours to learn how to program. The same thing that anybody else can do, and just rocked out. From that, it comes improvisational skills and, you know, just bringing you to the technique. You know what I mean?
Word. Yeah. I hear that, man. So I know that you said around 2006 was where you started transitioning to production because you were doing the remixes. You wasn't trying to give anybody extra love when it's like, yo, I could be getting that love. So, at what point where was it to where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna chill on DJing for right now. I'm gonna make production a full go.
Around 20, because and it's funny that I have the dates because these moments stick out so heavy in my mind. All right, so I decided to go for it around 2013, but professionally, actively doing it, making beats and sending out and competing in the industry as an independent producer, 2016, 2017, like late 2016.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Slim the 78er asks, when you create beats, do you start with a drum pattern or with the melody? That's like the question every producer got to answer.
Yeah. Me, I do melodies. I do melodies first, and you know, when I feel that vibe, the melody dictates wherever I'm going after that. For me, so normally I hear the beat already, like it's already done. Like I'm. The beat is like for some reason I just when I cook up, I just make it. I already know what I want to do, and then happy mistakes happen. We all already know what the happy mistakes are when you do something by accident. It's like, oh, that joint is dope.
Yeah.
A lot of that happens, but the beat most of the time is pretty much done in my head. Like it's a lot of waking up in the middle of the night and you know jotting down a quick 8 or 16 bars just to get the skeleton of it, and then I'll finish it later on or something like that. But I always finish it, so it's pretty much done when it starts.
Nice. So yo, where did the name Blackheart come from?
Yes. All right, so it originally came from a video game character. I don't know if you guys were familiar with, I think it was Marvel versus Capcom, and it was a character. His name was Blackheart, right? Mm-hmm. But he was a demon character. I'm not demonic, you know what I'm saying? I don't tend to vibrate on that. I don't vibrate on that frequency, so I didn't want to be associated with that. But when I played that game, he just always inspired me because his ferocity and his versatility. He was very versatile. He always knew how to maneuver around things, and you know, just when you think you got him, he always catches you and he wins the round. And I was just so versatile with that player. He resonated with me. So I named myself Blackheart. I gave myself the alias that, but I started to think deeper. How can I make this really relatable to who I am? While still carrying those attributes that that character had. So I started to think from a psychological level and a symbolic level. So the color black, most of all, is associated psychologically with authority, power, versatility. It's a limitless color. It has no hue. It's just, you know, it's limitless, right? And then Hart, I actually spelled my name H-A-R-T because that's how you spell the name of a male deer, right? And that's symbolic of nobility, transparency, vulnerability, you know, along those lines, right? Positive stuff. So when you spell Blackheart, H-E-R-T is always associated with something demonic, but actually I'm really expressing that I have powerful transparency. Like when it comes to music, I give my all. I'm versatile, you know, I'm limitless. I'm aggressive. I'm confident. You know what I'm saying? That's where that comes from. And then, you know, my logo and all that stuff, there's a play in that because it says the human heart. The human heart shows transparency, you know, it makes you relatable. You know what I mean? And then it has halos around it, and those halos stands for music. It protects me. You know what I'm saying? And the colors play a role as well. But long story short, that's what that stands for.
Bro, that is a
a lot of people, because they be like, yo, is your heart black? I'm like, no, actually it's not. It's not, you know, and then when I break it down, they're like, oh, you really thought this out. And so for it to come from the attributes of the actual video game character, because it's interesting that the video game character is exactly that. It's powerful. You know, when it comes to what it does, it's very confident. It's driven. You know, it's just it's what it is. And then I was able to flip it into something that really resonated with who I am realistically in life. You know.
That's amazing, man. That's so intricate, and like I guarantee there's not a lot of people that put that much thought into their name. You know, so props to you, man. Like
Thanks,
I call
bro.
it electronic, and I'm like I make soulful beats and I use electronics. So
Exactly, and that's a dope. You know what I'm saying? That's a dope artistic alias. You know, that's dope. That's exactly who you are. Straight to the point.
word.
You know. Yeah.
Um, so Dice S, shout out to Dice S. He's on the other side of the
Oh,
world,
Dice, what's popping?
man. He says your beats has always that crazy part, especially those you sent to Overlord Radio Show. Shout out to them. They'll be on at 9.
Overlord.
He
Yes.
asks, how did you come up with those ideas, and how can you manage to do those curves that shock everyone?
Yo, everybody that's on Overlord Radio platform inspired me to do that. Uh, I don't know how I come up with it. I just do it. I'm not even gonna act like I have this big elaborate scheme of how I go. Nah, like literally from you to Overlord to Kelsey to I mean, I can name everybody. Bueno, like come on, like everybody we know who's on the platform of Overlord Radio, and then you have Session In, you have Today's Future Sound. All these different producers inspired me, and I just figured out a way to pull that inspiration and those attributes that they have and apply it to my craft. And my goal is to inspire you guys, give back the energy that you guys gave me, and see how I can make that and manifest that into who I am and basically give it back. I don't have like an elaborate way. I just wild out. I go into like the air is my canvas. That's like my philosophy. The air is my canvas. It's silence. What do I make out of that? You know what I'm saying? I could just make a meat potatoes beat, or I can make something colorful that has depth to it, that has complexity to it, and all these different producers that I've come across, they have all these different dynamics. So how can I intelligently put them together where, it just makes sense, it feel good, it makes you think like, who in the hell would think of something to do that? Like, that's my goal, to inspire those that inspire me and to be inspiration to others. That's it. Like, I don't know how it come up. It just happens. I'm grateful that it happens though.
We're grateful that it happens.
Yeah, man.
So is there anything in the works for you currently, or is there anything that you want to say that's in the works, or like kind of holding off, or?
There's a lot in the works, especially as of lately. I'm gonna hold off till the ink dries.
Nice, exactly. I hear
Because
that.
I learned my lesson. There was a lot in the works in the past, and I prematurely said something about it out of pure excitement. Felt like I reached a level in life, and for whatever reason, it fell through on their side. I was prepared to go,
Yeah,
but life happens. So I just continue to do my due diligence and to build up every day. Every time you guys see me, my goal is to just to sound better and be better than I was before. And
exactly.
the next thing you know, it's just like all this is happening and that so it's a lot happening. I'm very grateful. I'm just taking it in, and I'm just building. I'm just grinding to make sure I can stamp it and it's sealed, and then I can say yes, 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 and yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Word. And to follow up on that, like, all right, so now you're saying you're you're DJing and you're meeting all these artists and all these DJs, and you're here, there, you're everywhere, and now you transition into production. Like, yeah, it's cool making beats and that's what you love to do, but now you're transitioning into the business side of it. Is it easier to because I know for a lot of producers, like that's where the growing stops because it's so complicated that they have to deal with the business side of music.
Mm-hmm.
Is it easier for you, or is it hard for you? It's being a DJ and seeing everything that you've seen beforehand. Like, did that kind of prepare you for
Extremely? Yeah, yeah. Um, one gem that keeps me alive in that process, because it's a never ending process. I also learned that as well. Is just be open to adapt, be open to change. A lot of the things that I went through as a DJ and as a remixer, funny enough, it definitely prepared me for the business side of things, because while I was remixing, I was doing my due diligence, learning the business side of production and being a producer, splits, royalties, publishing, and stuff like that. There's still stuff that I have to learn, because especially now that the industry is changing and they're trying to rewrite the rules and stuff like that. But it's not hard. It's just a matter of just putting myself in front of the resources, putting myself in front of the information, you know, and gathering, you know, the pieces to the puzzle, you know. But it's not hard. It's just a lot of information. It's a lot of information to take in. But I do also understand that, you know, business is business, and although people do operate business with emotion, is in both sides' best interest to just operate by black and white numbers and stuff like that. So, you know, I keep my emotion in the creative aspect, but when it comes to business, I just make sure I do what I have to do to protect me, my investment, and also be a good businessman so everybody can walk away from the table happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not hard as long as those core values is within me. It's just, okay, let me learn what I need to learn. And I just put in those hours that I need to learn it, you know? So it's not hard. DJing definitely helped me with that transition, you know? Yeah, because I watch a lot of people go through stuff too. So it's a lot of reference points that I have as well.
Nice. Overlord asks, how do you come up with the name of your beats? Both names. It's pretty. You're unique.
I want when you open the folder to be like, what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to always think, okay, that's an experience. My title names is an experience. Like, what is that? Why would you even name that? I want you to think about the thought process. So when I press play, either it throws you completely off because you don't know what's about to happen, or it's a narrative to what you hear. You get what I'm saying? So pretty much don't get caught slipping, kind of thing. Don't get caught lacking. When you press the folder open, it's like, all right, I wonder what's the name of these beats. That's a minor experience that it's really major. People, you know, take for granted, you know, and that can be a reason why your beat get placed with something, because somebody remember that off the wall name. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Of course, appropriate names at appropriate times, but you know, that gem still, you know what I mean? I just, you know, it's just that experience. You know what I mean? I just, you know, it shows my sense of humor. It shows my complexity, how deep I can get as far as, you know, thought process and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Shout out Donald Smokes in the room.
Smokes was popping, bro.
Slim the 78er asks, are there any artists that you like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Yes. One person I will say, although he's no longer here, Nipsey Hussle, I wanted to work with him since 2007. So I will forever, through remixing, actually do whatever I can to manifest that union. You know what I mean?
Word. R.I.P. Nip.
But apart from him, because he was top, like his whole movement, what he stood for, where he come from, just resonated with me. Apart from him, you have Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the person I I definitely want to work with. I want to work with Jim Jones. I want to work with her. I want to work with Missy Elliott, Pharrell. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot of interesting names I have, and it happens at the spur of the moment. Like I don't have like a top list. It's just like I wonder what it would be like to just exchange energies with that person musically. You know what I mean? Yeah.
As far as production goes, is there anyone that inspired you or helped you develop sound? Or
Tons of people from all different kinds of genres. I'll start with dancehall because dancehall is actually what birthed me into this world. You know what I mean, as far as music and production. So you have Jeremy Hart, and you have Don Corleone, you have Super Dupes, you have Shams, you have Flabba, you have Snow Cone, you have Fat Eyes, True Blue. There's so many. You have Steely and Clevie. Bobby Digital, then in hip hop you have, Premier, Black Milk, hip hop. It gets interesting in hip hop. Q-Tip. I won't go that deep. I'll save that for later. As far as like grime, you have Wiley, you have MSM, you have Da Vinci, FaZe Miyake, you have Teddy, you have Swift Abita, Jamma, Skepta, JME, my guy JME. Shout out to my boy Better Know family over there. Yeah, those names, like that ball right there is like, yeah, that's why all of this happens. Yeah.
right. So I got a good question for you. Before we get into the staple of the show, here's a good scenario. All right, you're in a beat battle. You're in the finals, right? This battle is whatever attributes to your abilities the best. You're at maximum potential in this beat battle, and you're going against somebody, could be in the industry or not. You're going against someone in the industry that you feel is the most even matchup you could have. Who's that person?
Nobody.
Nice.
Nobody. I say that respectfully and disrespectfully. Nobody.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
So Just Blaze is on the other side of that wall. He has no chance.
If you're on the other side of me, you gotta go.
There you go. There you go.
I respect all my elders, but if you're on the other side of me, you gotta go. Period. Because if I'm on the other side of them, I gotta go. Right?
Back. All right, so we know he's confident, guys.
It's not even it's just the passion for what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, when you live it.
Yeah.
When you live that and you are your music, and it comes to a point where your music has to defend you, you have to come out of that alive. That's what it is. When you go to war, what the point of war is? The point of war is to shake hands or to eliminate your foe and then possibly ask questions later. You got to deal with business.
Exactly, man.
You know what I'm saying?
If I'm battling somebody, I don't care who's on the other side.
Yeah, somebody got to go. It ain't me though.
Exactly.
It ain't me. And if I go, they're gonna know for the rest of their life that they made a mistake. They made a mistake. Get what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the Blackheart side.
That's when the name
That's
exactly what it says. Nice.
Sorry about that. I don't know why my Apple Watch triggered something. That's when the name manifests itself, and But I mean, every producer has that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
You know, I'm not. I don't act like I'm untouchable. I bleed. I breathe the same air. It's just, you know, I don't act like I'm better than anyone else. But when it comes to somebody dealing with me, you better be right. You better be right. Fill in the blanks.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Fill in the
Word.
blanks.
All right, man. It's that time. The staple of the show.
Woo!
Over. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're gonna give me who you think is overrated and who you think is underrated.
Oh, Overlord actually asked me a question.
Oh, you
He
did?
said, "What's my favorite beat?"
Oh, yes. Before let's do that one.
You know
Because
what?
I have,
You know what's my favorite beat? Over the one that you did the video edit for. That I played at the showcase, 4 a.m. in the morning. That's my favorite joint.
mm,
I listened to it like I didn't even make it, and I still listen to it. Like it's one of those beats where if I get someone to voice that, it's gonna be special. And if I have to wait till I'm super on to make sure it's special, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. He know what I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about.
All right. So yeah, man. Let's get into
Shout out
this.
to everyone in the comments. Shout out to everyone in the comments. This is going. Much love to everybody, man.
Appreciate you guys checking
Yeah, I'm
out.
gonna speed it up. I already speeded it up. Yeah, I speeded it up. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. So let's get into this over under right now.
Let's get it. Let's get
So
it.
my first question for you, which is this question I ask everybody. In your opinion, who is the most overrated producer of all time?
Oh my
Who is
god.
the most underrated producer of all time? To you. We've had Swiss, we've
Oh
had
my god, yo.
had Dilla, believe it or not.
I,
Not
I I heard. I
yeah,
heard.
on. But the reason I was given was justifiable, in my opinion.
Oh man. Overrated. I still can't. Hmm. You know what? I genuinely can't say. I really, cause you know why, I'll tell you why I can't say it. And because I'm trying to give you a name so I can answer the question, but I want to give you the thought process as to why it's just not simply happening. Why? Because I don't pay attention to people like that.
Mm.
I'm one of those guys where I'm so consciously aware of what I'm doing, and when I listen to other people, I'm taking something from everyone. So I took a lot of inspiration from Zaytoven. I've taken a lot from from Quincy Jones. I've taken a lot from DJ Quick. Like anyone I was able to pull something from where it turned into something powerful for me. So I'm not so dwelled on watching someone where I can say that person is overrated. I'm not really watching what they're doing because I'm busy trying to make sure I'm on point. Um,
Ralphie said you being political. Just answer.
I'm not. I on everything I love because I'll be quick to. Matter of fact, not on everything I love. I'm not because I don't have a reason to be political. If I don't like someone, I don't like them.
Right.
I'll. You know what? I'm gonna keep it a stack.
There we go.
I'm gonna keep it a stack. And it's a reason why, because they're not overrated, but this time period made me look at them like it. It was very frustrating for me. I was like on the fence. And it's
And
Swiss and Tim.
Swiss and Tim.
Swiss and Tim. Because that
Okay.
that period of when Versus was battle oriented, producer battle oriented. I'm gonna say what everybody else want to say because everybody's afraid to say it. I don't care. Swiss Beats programming was very familiar on a lot of the beats that he was presenting when he was shooting shots at Timbaland.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard what Timbaland was doing. Now, Timbaland was kind of like bobbing and weaving, and Swiss was throwing headshots, right? But again, it wasn't anything like, okay, if you come into a beat battle, you're not gonna bring the war that your opponent already knows of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna show who you are. You're gonna show who your identity is. But it's like, yo, if you a GOAT and you talking like that, you have to present that not only to your peers. If you're presenting that talk as who you are, if you're presenting that, you have to present it to your peers. And you're constantly teaching the next generation, which is us. You have Overlord, you have Kelsey, you have you have you have Deli, you have Soundtrack, you have Smokes, you have Siege. You get what I'm saying? Nobody can't talk crazy to Rockwilder or Eric Sermon. Because when they press play, it's a problem every time they press play, right?
Right.
You can't talk crazy to Bink. You can't talk crazy to Blaze. It's a problem every time. And I felt during that time they were being political. And I wanted blood. I was like, yo, finally, let's get it. Somebody's putting their skills on the line. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we didn't get that. And Versus turned into an artist catalog thing instead of who craft is better, putting craft against craft. And when the shots was going, Swiss Beats was dropping some bombs. It was like, okay, I'm hearing something, and then he would retract. It was like the bait, you know what I mean? And maybe it's how I took it as far as that experience. I just wanted more because I have so much high respect for them. So I will never disrespect and say they were overrated, but I will say that period disappointed me enough to be like, yo, are they really on the pedestal that everybody put them on?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because if I'm blessed to ever reach those heights and have the experiences that they have, work with the people that they've worked with and put in the years in the industry that they put in, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want somebody to look at me and say, yo, Blackheart is still on. And ever since day one, since I heard of him, he's been innovating, he's been improving himself, and he's been bringing his best to the table, and it's fire every single time. Every single time. So I'm not being political. I'm saying a lot of stuff that a lot of people were saying because people was a lot more disrespectful with it. But I guarantee if they was in the same room with Swiss or Tim, they not going to say that. You know what I mean? But that's how much respect that I have for them because I learned from them. On the music side and the business side, yes, they got hits, but you know what? Everybody got hits that put in that work at a certain point. What's your craft talking about? What are you teaching the next generation? You get what I'm saying? And I want to be able to just add value consistently. So if you hear my beat, you learning something or you wondering, how did I do that? And that inspired you to try to do what I did, but you did it how you did it, and therefore you elevated yourself and evolved yourself as a producer. Because that's how I evolved. There's so many things that Pharrell done where I was like, yo, how the fuck you do that? There were so many things that Danger Hands done that I was like, yo, how the hell he do that? You get what I'm saying? Like, how did Kanye flip a sample a certain way?
Yeah.
How did Flying Lotus or Black Milk flip that sample a certain way? What make them think of that? That chop arrangement to come in at that count, but still have the phrasing in your ear still hear it. You get what I'm saying? Why did they mix it the way they did? That's when I turned into a producer. So when it comes to that and that experience when Timbaland and Swiss Beats was going back and forth, Swiss Beats was giving Timbaland that smoke as far as the ferocity, the energy, right?
Yeah.
Timbaland didn't start really turning up until like I guess the second, like, okay, now we going, let's press play back to back beats and whatnot. And that's when he started talking that junk, that competitive aspect, because there's a whole different side of the producer where when you go into the battle world,
Yeah, that's a whole
we
different monster.
you know what I'm saying? So now if you talking that smoke like you the GOAT, you kind of on the competitive side of talking,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Yeah, so I don't want to say anybody's overrated because that's also like a final judgment. That's a final judgment, and I have no business judging nobody like that. I have no business judging anybody like that. Everybody else can do what they want to do. But to say somebody's overrated, that is a final assessment of who that person is as a musician, as a creative. I have no business doing that because I wasn't. I watched how I evolved in a year's time, and at one point I was super duper trash, and you couldn't tell me nothing. Still, you get what I'm saying? But I am where I am now because I evolved and because I didn't pay attention to people in a sense where I was critical. You know what I'm saying? I listened from a creative aspect. What are they giving to the world? What can I take from it? How can I apply that value to me? So I really can't say they're overrated, but that experience definitely disappointed me. It
No,
deeply disappointed me.
no, that's a great answer, and that's something that a lot of people haven't really spoken about. You know,
Yeah.
it's Drawzilla was good,
Peace.
but it's nah, it's
Clip was good, bro.
Clips mode. What's going on, man?
That's my bro right there.
Yeah, Clip
You know
is
what
a
I'm
good.
saying? Like, yo, I'm around you guys. So it's really, yo, like to be able to have conversations with people like Siege and to be in the same, well, let's say digital environment as Knox or Rockweiler, it's like, it's humbling.
Yeah,
And then on top of that, to know the generation after us, we going in, all of us, we going in. So that goat talk is kind of shaky after a certain point because you got goats following you, and it's a point of don't get comfortable. That's why Rockweiler is on his shit all the time. You better think twice before you press play on Eric Sermon.
that's
Think
right.
twice. You can't go to Super Dubs or Don Corleone or you know like you can't go to certain producers and or Wiley or Skepta or JME and think you can just press play on them. You can't go to Jam and think you can press play on them. That's where I get that energy from. So when you have us, I'm around constant inspiration. So that go talk is real. It's a fog to me. Take away all your accolades. Take away all the artists you work with. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about? Let's take away the catalog and you press play. Because when Hit Boy started pressing play against Boy Wonder and we started hearing the instrumentals, that's when I was like, yes,
Up.
yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. Show me your art, your artistic aspect. Show me your production. Show me your craft. Show me that. Show me your language, your vocabulary, your musical vocabulary, not what everybody else like and what's deemed a hit. You get what I'm saying? So
Nah,
I'm not being political. Trust me. I just for those reasons I don't make those decisions because there's so many layers to the thought process.
I love that answer. That is a great answer. That was very well thought, very well spoken. That was a great answer all the way. But on the flip side of that, who is a producer that you feel, uh, since hip hop started, whatever, is underrated, isn't getting the credit they deserve for being an all time great? We've heard, we've had Black Milk, we've had Q-Tip, we've had, um, Static Selector. We've had a few names.
Mm. Can I name two? Because I don't have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, from what I observed in my experience and journey in hip hop and music in general, at the moment, I will say Q-Tip and Black Milk.
Right.
Q-Tip and Black Milk. Q-Tip deserved more flowers and champagne bottles than he get.
Way more.
And Black Milk is actually the reason why I started thinking musically to the point where I can make something that would make you over and all of you guys be like, oh, word? Black Milk was that spark for me. Not Dilla, not Black Milk was that spark for me. So, yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. All right, so second over-under question. Maybe this one's a little easier to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Most overrated beat of all, most underrated beat of all time. So for overrated, we've heard Death of Auto Tune. Static said Money Cash Hoes.
Damn, Static.
Had some real.
That's my bro, Static. Shout out to Static too. That's my bro. Damn.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man, overrated beat.
Shout out to We Are the Beats. Havoc is definitely underrated as a producer.
Extremely overrated. I mean, underrated, not overrated. Underrated. Havoc is a beast.
Yes.
He's a beast. Beat. Oh my gosh, man. Overrated?
Mm-hmm. This is a safe space Blackheart.
Ether.
Yes, we've had that. Yeah, definitely.
Ether.
It seems to be popular amongst the producer community.
Yeah, Ether.
Because
Ether. Like I hope I have the opportunity to give Nas some beats. Because yeah. I have to make up for that. I have to close that chapter in my life. Yeah, Ether. I was like, yeah. Because Ether put a lot of batteries in a lot of people back. A lot of people thought that they was doing something because of Ether.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Zilla said the Benjamins, and shout out to Zilla. I gotta have you on.
Yo, I mean, from a DJ side, the Benjamins kill it. Benjamins always kill the club. There's that reverse, whatever that is, right? It pierces through the air, man. It gets you moving. And the program is meat potatoes, but it gets you moving. Ether is not doing the same thing for me. Benjamins, and I you know what? I think it has a lot to do with the fact of the artist that was on there. So, you know what? I'm not even going to speak on Benjamins, because if you take the artist away and you just listen from an unbiased point of view, non-biased point of view, then but Ether.
So what about underrated?
Southern Hospitality, Ludacris to me.
Oh, that's different.
Like that kept me going in years where I was uninspired as a DJ, especially as a DJ, becoming a remixer. Well, not becoming, because I was kind of in, but like finding my footing. Southern Hospitality, man, that the chords of those hits, Yeah, for real. That's my beat right there, B. Like people sleep on it. I don't know. You could play that beat by itself and people rocking. Like, I don't know.
That's the first. That's the first Southern entry we've had for this as an answer, man.
Yeah. Southern hospitality, man. Shout out to Luda. Luda's an artist I want to work with too. Like, Luda is an underrated artist. I don't know if we doing underrated artists, but Luda, man. I gotta give that man his respect, man. He definitely played a high inspiration for me.
Word. So, all right, another over, and this will be the last one, because I know.
Yeah, I'm here, so it's you're not limited. I'm here. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I'm good.
So, over under, as from an artist perspective, who do you feel picks the best beats, the best beat picker of all time? Well, let me say it. Who you feel is overrated when it comes to having beats as an artist? Like you hear them.
Oh, that's a flip.
And who you feel is underrated in their beat picking skills? Because we all know 50 is a monster when it comes to picking beats. But who you feel is overrated as far as like the beats they're on and all that stuff? Or maybe the beat is hot and they don't do the beat justice time and time again.
Oh shit. Ah man. Oh, that's a good one. Who doesn't do it justice? Ooh,
When the
boy.
says Nas.
Ooh, boy.
I mean, that's not a bad answer.
It's not a bad answer. I'm gonna go with Nas since nobody name pops up. Like, yeah, Nas. As far as who does great at picking beats, hands down, my go-to guy is Ross.
Right.
Him and him and what's his DJ name? Sneak. Sam Sneak.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to pick some beats. Them
Yeah.
two. Ross and Sam Sneak know how to pick some beats. They be wilding.
Ross, every beat Ross on is either very luxurious or very beat you over the head.
It's like what? And Ross delivers. His pen is disrespectful.
Right.
His pen is disrespectful. That's a guy I gotta work with. I have to make that happen. Yeah.
Ross is definitely one of them, man. I would say too, like Exhibit.
Yes.
Exhibit, like I know everybody think Pimp My Ride, but when he was on his music shit, he was very good at picking and making dope records.
You know who I'll add to Nas? Tech Nine. Tech Nine. Now he can spit his ass off. He can spit. I just be wondering, like, who's giving him these beats? How is this happening? This is disrespectful to your lyricism. How is this happening?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tech Nine. That's the name I'm more satisfied with. I'm more satisfied with Tech Nine.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, yo,
like the beat suits him, but
it's
we all hear what Tech Nine can do, and I also hear what he can do if he was on better beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would. I recently heard him on something that was crazy that's coming out, and I was like, finally, like what took so long? You know what I'm saying? But it also has to do with, his movement, his artistic, identity as far as sonics and stuff like that. I get it. Word. But you give that man a beat that's a problem, Tech Nine, is gonna finish that beat off, man.
Yeah, that man. All right, so yo, last question, and then we'll wrap up a little bit.
Lit.
So this one is fantasy. All right,
Mm-hmm.
you have you're in the studio, right? You whoever you want, could be alive, could be dead, whoever you want. Give me a rapper, a singer, who produces that track, who engineers that track, what label does it come out on?
Mm. Okay.
Word. And Slim, I agree. Jay-Z does know how to pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay's on point. I'll be honored if I get a beat to Jay if he puts out the next vibes.
Right.
So with the rapper Nipsey,
Okay.
rapper Nipsey,
Who's singing the hook?
Jasmine Sullivan.
Nice. She's dope. She's so dope, man. And that actually, it sounds perfect too. Nipsey and Jasmine Sullivan together. That sounds perfect.
I gotta get in my A&R. All right. So Nipsey and Jasmine Sullivan, and I'm producing it.
Produced by Blackheart. All right.
Dre engineers it.
Dre, and so you know the Sonics is gonna be crazy.
Yes. Yes.
And what label?
I think I'm good with that. What label? I don't know. I don't know.
Because that matters too. It's got to be able to reach the people.
That's right. Wow. And it has to make sense to the collaboration as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Question?
What's Nipsey's? It's the back of my head. Anything that's tied to Nipsey, especially the marathon, anything tied to that. Why I say that is because I'm thinking from a perspective that Nipsey was actually, he was just getting started, and the traction that he was about to catch, like the world was tuned into him.
Yeah.
Different ethnicities was tuned into him for different reasons, from an entrepreneurial aspect, from a holistic health aspect, musical aspect, lyricism aspect, integrity aspect. I think something special would come out of that. So it's only right. It's only right that anything that's tied directly to him, whether he starts a new label or anything he got existing going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Blackheart's fantasy collab is Nipsey and Jasmine Sullivan, produced by Blackheart, mixed by Dre, and out on Nipsey's label. That sounds like a go.
Yep.
That sounds like it would have been a go, man.
Yep. It would have took off.
Right.
It would have took off. And he would have made sure. He would have made sure it took off.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole hip hop industry behind him. He would have that.
Exactly. He kept his face clean. You know? Relationships was on point. Nip. My God, Nip.
Well, yo, Blackheart, thank you so much
Thank you, man.
Much, man, for joining us.
And salute to you because you inspire me all the time, and I'm not gassing you. I'm not gassing you. I do aspire to get my sampling game to the eliteness of Soultronic. Not lying. Like,
Yo,
yo, thank you for endlessly inspiring me, and just being a great friend and a great person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you over Kelsey, Nuo, Point One, Nux, all these different producers make, like Donnell, Smokes, like you, Static, y'all make this journey as a producer so easy and so rewarding, like so fulfilling. I'm so grateful to you guys.
yo,
You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to be able to call you a friend. I'm grateful to be able to call Clip a friend. You know, like I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you.
yeah, I'm grateful for you, man. I'm grateful to be considered amongst those greats, and I'm grateful for you, man,
Man,
because
we all greats. We all greats. Don't ever like I'm not gonna be the person that ever let anyone speak lower of what they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Period. Shout out to Over, shout out to all the session in gang, all them.
session,
They make my life like, yo,
yo, for everybody watching, if you don't tune in to
fuck
Session on Friday night at 10 o'clock,
Deanie. Oh my goodness. All my peoples, like all my peoples, everybody. Today's Future Sound, all the platforms. My guy Donnie Joe. Yo, it's all you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I can't have the conversation about Timbaland and Swiss Beats and Scott Storch or whoever, because I'm around you guys. I'm able to look at Siege. You know what I'm saying? Like the world is still turning, time is still pressing on. We the next generation, and you guys teach me. You guys actually taught me more than I'll go on record and say that you guys actually taught me more than the greats, whoever people consider the greats to be.
and what's so dope about it is that like we all know each other. We're all friends. We're all part of the same community. We all want to see each other win, which is most important. Like if I hear Blackheart gets a placement, I'm hyped like I got it. If I hear Overlord got a placement, I'm hyped like I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like guys are, I think we're in a different type of lane because it wasn't like that back then.
Nah.
A lot of cutthroat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
We're cool, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get that placement. I'm trying to get that.
Right, undercutting each other. Nah,
Yeah.
we all in this. We're all in this, and to be able to grow as a producer with you guys, it's an honor. I would rather be nowhere else in the world in time growing with any other individuals than you guys. You guys are literally the reason why my sound and my craft has increased and evolved and under like 6 months. Like listening to you guys, like how can one go to bed, go to sleep? Like people can't go to sleep hearing what you guys press play on. You guys are my greats, really and truly. I respect the elders and I love them, and I overly appreciate them, especially the ones that's really holding down what it means to be called a GOAT and why. Another artist I want to work with, Busta Rhymes.
Right.
You see the integrity of why he picked the beats and the producers that he worked with, and you hear the names that he named. I honor those people. I don't honor the trends and the hype. I don't do that because that's not how I learn. That's not how I learned. And you guys taught me that. Y'all taught me that. I'm still learning how to be a producer. So
And that's the scary part.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I'm a DJ and a remixer at Hart. Shout out to all my remixer gang. You know, shout out to Black Chiney. if I give honor to anybody, I give honor to Black Chinese, and I give honor to Federation Sound, and I give honor to my King Tribes family, my sound crew, myself. Because see, you know, people like DJ Springer, General O, Striker Don, like those guys gave me the mindset how to approach music. You know what I mean? Black China is the reason why I started incorporating real production into my remixing. And Federation Sound, Kenny Mees and Max Glazer. So those are my greats. Those are my goats. Those people. Willie Chin, Super Dubs, Max Glazer, Kenny Mees. Those are my guys. And if people don't know who they are, they need to do their homework on them. You want to know why Blackheart is who he is? Them. I'll leave it there, though.
That's what's up, man. But like I said before, man, much appreciation, much love, much respect for you for
same way, bro.
Do this, man. And, you know, there's nothing but great things in the future for you. I just
appreciate that.
Happens. So, yo, guys, this is episode 5 of Soul Chat. And what an episode it was. If you missed it, it'll be up on IGTV. But the producer fun is not over. You can go to Overlord Radio. If it's not up now, it will be up in a couple minutes. And the producer fun continues. You probably get to hear this man play his stuff now instead of hearing him talk. Now he's gonna play.
Oh, I might cook up something fresh while the show is going. Y'all know how I be doing.
This dude.
Actually, I'm probably gonna do that because I was gonna play something tonight, but I'm not gonna play that yet.
This dude will turn on Overlord Radio at 9, and then literally like a minute before they go off, yo, I sent something. Just made it like 2 hours ago. And then it'll be
fun. It's fun because see, and people don't understand. That's like a live performance to me, and the reaction is raw. So if it's trash, it's trash. If it's dope, it's so much rewarding. The response that I get from you guys, because you guys aren't yes man to me. If I'm not getting a candle, I'm not getting a candle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm humble. I will never put myself up there. Nah, I'm good. I'm just grateful that I can make great music and people receive it that way. I feel my music is great, but I'm happy that I add value to other people's lives. But it's like a performance. I make it on the spot. It's fresh. I'm not used to it. So I'm listening to it fresh just like how you guys are. That's why a lot of the times I'm cooking up fresh. Yeah. So, yeah, I might cook up. Actually, I am going to cook up. Got some new drums, so I'm looking forward to that. Shout out my people who's Mini Mustard, too.
Right.
Mini Mustard. Yo. There's so many people. Shout out to all y'all, man. For real, man.
Praise. Donald.
If y'all don't know, I love y'all. I love every single one of y'all, man. For real. Praise. What? Vintage. What?
Divine Drummer. SP the
What?
Who, man?
Mint. Like, what? Yo, man. But yeah. Yeah. Thank all of you guys. Like, you guys are the reason why I am who I am right now. In no order. In no order. You guys are my biggest influence right now. Period.
Appreciate you, man. Yo, you have a great night. I will be waiting to hear the craziness that comes at whatever point of the show. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Much
right.
love, everybody.
Yo, so that was it. Episode 5. Next week, our special guest is Soundtrack. So,
Yes.
yeah, Big Yikes is coming in next week.
Yes. Boop, boop, boop. Shout out to Soundtrack, man.
Everybody have a great night. Tune into Overlord Radio. It should be on now. And, yeah, that's it. You guys have a good one.
Salute, everybody. Stay safe.